Julian Sayin from Carlsbad, California, completing over 80% of his passes, leading the nation in that category. 2,675 yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 2nd and 8. Ohio State with the ball at their own 41. Sayin out of the shotgun, back to throw from his 33. Floats it up the left side where it is caught. Bennett Christian, tight end, pushed out of bounds at the Ohio State 45 by cornerback Bo Masco. 3rd and 3. Ohio State at their own 46-yard line. Sayin gets the snap, drops back to pass, and pressure coming. Blitz is picked up, dumps it down on the right side. It is caught by Max Clare, who slips and falls right at the 49 of Rutgers. He fell down in front of the defender, Jabome, who was covering him, but it is enough, despite the slip and fall, for a first down.
Rutgers sold out there. They brought 5-6 guys at that line of scrimmage. Had a linebacker behind the nose guard kind of pushing him through that gap there, but the Buckeyes were able to pick it up.
Pistol formation, Julian Sayin at quarterback. He gets the snap, fakes a pitch out to the right, looks to throw on the left side where he guns it up, and it's caught by the tight end Max Clare, tackled at the 11 of Rutgers, where he is taken out by defensive back Cam Miller. That's another first down, now a goal-to-go situation for Ohio State.
Well, when Carnell Tate being out of the ball game, Jeremiah Smith, we knew other guys were going to have to step up, and so far the tight ends have stepped up. Clare has 2 catches.
Clare and Adolph wide to the left. Sayin looking to throw. Being chased, rolls to his right, throws on the right, and it is incomplete at the 45 of Ohio State, where it was thrown for Brandon Ennis, and it was knocked down by defensive back Cam Miller.
Gabe Van Sickle was in there, right guard. They ran a stun over there, and the defender came right in, unblocked, and it was in Julian Sayin's face just as he was trying to set up and throw that pass, rolled out to his right, forced an incompletion.
Donaldson in the backfield, but Julian Sayin's going to toss. Sayin at his 21, throws up the right seam, caught by David Adolph, yanked right down at his own 45-yard line. They're going to say incomplete pass as Bo Masco, defensive back, was covering David Adolph. It'll bring 4th down up.
Yeah, 3 and out, so Rutgers sidelines excited about that. Defense came up with some nice plays there. Forced that 3 and out. Buckeyes will punt for the first time.
3rd and 7, Ohio State at their own 5. And now Ennis moving in motion. Snap to Julian Sayin, back in his own end zone to throw. Fires middle of the field where it is caught. And the receiver is dumped at the 15. David Adolph, and at Abram Wright. Linebacker makes the stop, but Adolph's catch gives the Buckeyes a first down pickup presented by Kroger.
Yeah, good throw and a good catch there. Julian Sayin put it right on the money, right on the numbers of David Adolph. Adolph comes up with the completion.
So the drive continues for Ohio State at their own 15. Isaiah West in a tailback. He's to the right of quarterback Julian Sayin, who's going to throw again. Sayin looking from his 6, looking still, throwing out on the right side, and that's going to go incomplete at the 25. Either over through Rogers or under through West.
Or a
the
throwaway.
pass is legal. Number 32 is in the area.
He's got Jackson in the backfield with him. Sayin looks to pull the trigger once more. Dumps a screen left side. Bo Jackson at his own 15. Jackson by blockers 20 to his own 25, and he's going to get to about his own 29-yard line before he is finally stopped. Rutgers able to get that play made by Jet Elad, defensive back, but a nice gain by Jackson out of the backfield to move the chains.
Got an injured Rutgers player there on the 25-yard line. Luke Montgomery looked like he was grabbing his arm after that play.
Timeout for an injured player of the defense.
6:44 on the second quarter clock with Donaldson in the backfield. Now Peoples motioning into the backfield and Sayin back to throw. Dumps it out on the right side where it is caught. Running to the 40-yard line, 45-yard line. Max Clare to the Rutgers 40. Clare angling to the middle of the field, tripped up and stopped at the Rutgers 31 by linebacker Dario Jabome. But how about that nice play, dumping it off to the right, and Max Clare got on his horse and moved into Scarlet Knight territory.
Yeah, it was the second time they were in that formation with Peoples lined up out to the right. First time they ran the football. That time they play action, faked the handoff there, and then threw it down the field to Max Clare, who was wide open.
He sure was. Wide to the right in the backfield of Julian Sayin, who's going to toss it. From the Rutgers 40, Sayin looking. He shoots it middle of the field, caught Brandon Ennis, stopped at the 29 of Rutgers by linebacker Abram Wright, who seems to be okay as he came back in and made a play.
Yeah, he got up there lipping with his left ankle after that. So.
His rest did him good.
Yeah. 3rd down.
7 to go. Ohio State of the Rutgers 29. Sayin directing traffic in the backfield. Gets the football in his hands, looks to toss. He'll look and zip that up the right side. Caught by Clare at the Rutgers 25. Gets to the 24 where he is wrestled to the ground at the 24 by corner Bo Masco.
Let's see if there's a decision here for Ohio State on 4th down. 4th and about 3. They're going to send their kicker out. No, they're bringing Lincoln Kienholz in.
Yes, we've seen the backup quarterback used in kind of like short yardage quarterback run situation. 2nd and 5, Ohio State at the 7 of Rutgers. 7-3 Buckeyes leading with 2.5 to play until halftime. Sayin under center with a snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw. Sayin will lob that right corner of the end zone for Ennis. Got it for a touchdown. Brandon Ennis. He had a defender right there with him. Jacoby Henderson going down the right side, but Brandon Ennis reached in the air, grabbed it, hung on to it in the right corner of the end zone, and the Buckeyes have increased their lead to 13-3.
Tell you, Ryan Day ran down the sideline out of the coach's box almost to the 20-yard line there and was kind of pointing towards that corner of the end zone. I think he saw it coming, but that's where Julian had to go with the football. That's where they threw it. And Brandon Ennis picks up his 4th touchdown of his career, 2nd this year.
Again, Bo Jackson, a tailback. He's to the right of his quarterback, Julian Sayin, who gets the snap. Sayin looking to throw. Heaves that up the left side where it is caught. And David Adolph will maneuver his way to his 34-yard line where he is tackled after making that catch by corner Jacoby Henderson. And that's a first down pickup by David Adolph, presented by Kroger.
2 catches now for David Adolph, both of them for first downs.
Making his first ever start. Senior from Dublin, right here in the Columbus area, David Adolph.
Got good size at 6'5", 210.
Sayin with a snap, sets up to pass. Some pressure coming. Sayin throws up the field where it is caught. And Max Clare takes to the 50. Ball's fumbled at the end of the play, but Peoples there to get on it and fall on it in Rutgers territory, just past the midfield stripe. So James Peoples comes up with a loose pig, and Ohio State keeps the possession going. There is a penalty flag down.
There's no foul on the play. The contact was ruled legal, first down.
Wide to the right are Rogers and Clare, as well as Mylan Graham. And Sayin back to throw with some pressure coming. Sayin looks, short toss left side in the air, incomplete for Max Clare at the 29 of Rutgers, where he was covered by safety Kaj Sanders.
Yeah, Max couldn't get separation there from Sanders there and got his hands up a little bit late. That ball came out fast from Julian Sayin's hand, so
C.J. Donaldson, tailback to the right of quarterback Julian Sayin. 3 wide to the right, single flanker Adolph to the left, and Sayin looking to throw. Sayin heaves that one out on the left side and incomplete. He kind of threw that too wide of C.J. Donaldson out around the 8-yard line. Jackson in the backfield as Clare motions left for quarterback Julian Sayin. Receives the snap. Sayin looks, floats that left corner of the end zone. Wide open, Clare for the touchdown. 11 yards. Julian Sayin to Max Clare, who got behind safety Kaj Sanders, and it is a 20-3 Ohio State lead over Rutgers.
Well, that was a beautiful throw there by Julian Sayin. He rolled out a little bit to his right, bought some extra time, and then back to his left. He saw Max Clare wide open. They blew that coverage, and Ohio State gets the TD after going back 10 yards with a holding penalty.
Peoples, the sophomore from San Antonio, is off the right side of quarterback Julian Sayin. Sayin with a snap. Fakes the handoff, sets up to pass from his 40. Short toss out on the right side, complete. Running to the Rutgers 40 is Max Clare. Hurdles to the 30, taken down at the 28-yard line. As dropping him was linebacker Daryl Jabome. But just like James Peoples did last week, Max Clare goes into hurdle mode and gives Ohio State a first down.
He's conscious of not fumbling that football there. Halfway through his run, he put both arms on the ball and then realized, hey, there's no one around me. I could put it in my right arm again. And
Bryson Rogers wide left, Sayin with a snap. Back to throw. Sayin will heave that down the right side for Graham, incomplete at the 11 of Rutgers, where he was covered by corner Bo Masco and covered rather aggressively.
Yeah, he had 2 hands on him. The official right behind him, though, didn't pull the flag, so no call.
Drops back in the shotgun, gets the snap. Sayin looking to throw. Sayin will heave that up the left side of the field inside the 10, incomplete, and a flag comes out, and Bryson Rogers was hogtied and dragged to the ground by corner Jacoby Henderson inside the 10.
Yeah, defensive pass interference there, and flag came out. Coach Chiano's talking to his defender there and giving him words of encouragement, but the Buckeyes will get that first down.
And that will pretty much take care of it as the two teams will come together and shake hands. Ohio State defeats Rutgers 42-9, and it is officially the start of Michigan Week. Today's broadcast has been presented by Huntington. This is Buckeye football from Learfield.